Yeah.
But as I say, I've got this
Yeah.
1,000 stories. I can't, get
Yeah.
them all.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go back. Probably my favourite tenor player of all time must be Tubby Hayes, because he was such a great player. I love Roddy Ross on baritone, who was also a wonderful friend of mine. And on alto, I've got to say, Joe Harriott was out of this world.
I already know this because you mentioned it earlier, but I don't think the camera's rolling. Do you plan to continue promoting live music?
Not after the 28th of this month, April. I'll tell you, I'm going to be on the advisory side of that. But I'll promote my own little group, because as I say, I'm 70 now. I haven't sort of got the energy of running around so much, and I just want to do more work with my quartet. But as we said, the venues are getting less, and it's hard, But I would love to find a near country pub and do a session, say, every other week,
Right.
and have another band do, with me.
Yeah.
So you've got two types of band,
Yeah.
twice a month.
Right.
I want to do that. I'm trying to find a pub at the moment would do that, but it's very, very hard because charging on the door, as you know, in a pub's very difficult unless it's separated.
Yeah.
I mean, you want a nice room at the back, but you've got to find the right venue. I mean, there are pubs around, but it's not in the right position.
Yeah.
People won't go to certain pubs now. And of course, the drink laws killed,
Yeah. That's
helped to
right.
kill live music.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's people, I hope there's people like me around in the future, because if not, live music's going to bloody well die.
That's right. Does Kenny encourage other players as well as himself, would you say?
Well, I think that's one of the great things about Kenny Baxter. I mean, the last time but two that I saw him, he was presenting the Quentin Collins Quintet down at one of his newer clubs. Now, as we know, he's a great tenor player. But on this particular occasion, he was just sitting at the door, taking the money with Tony. And that's always been, I think, one of his strongest and most likeable and admirable points. The fact that he is constantly encouraging new players. A few years ago, he championed Steve Waterman, who's now reckoned to be one of our greatest trumpet players. And, well, I have to say, I mean, going right back to our days, back in the 60s, he was very encouraging to me. He's never been a selfish performer. A lot of good tenor players like him around the country say, well, look, come along and guest with my group, and I'll be playing tenor, and it'll be my rhythm section, and so on and so forth. But Kenny's never done that. He's always been wonderful at stepping back and saying to young talents in particular, but of course established stars as well, look, come along, take over the show, bring your music to the people, and I'll step back. And there are a lot of musicians who are more ambitious than that, and therefore, in my view, less likeable. I think he's tremendous, as a, if you like, some sort of jazz philanthropist.
I'd like to say a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another jazz spot here at Churchill's. Special day for me, but I'd like you to put your hands together for the first band on today, The Truth.
Thank you, Kenny. It's brilliant to be here today on Kenny's 70th birthday. Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. He's done so much for jazz in the southeast for the last, Kenny, 50 years? It's amazing, amazing. Oh, I think it deserves a big round of applause, a big round of applause. Incredible stuff, and he's still blowing fantastic. All these years, incredible stuff.
Right, thanks for coming down, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the sets here at Churchill's. My name's Kenny, Baxter's son, Curtis Baxter. Put your hands together for the old man for his 70th birthday. Big hand, please.
Thank you very much.
musicians. But see, the whole thing about promoting music, jazz, it's 50 years this year. I've done that in Southend, starting at the old Victoria Hotel, which is not there anymore. But I've done it for 50 years. I've been to so many places in Southend, believe me. But to see these young musicians, they're great, wonderful. First time I've ever played with a bass player this morning. He's a wonderful bass player. And Dave Smith's a lovely young drummer. Tim, local lad. We've got most of the local boys in The Truth. That's why I've gone back to the old days of Rent Party, where Neil and John were in the band years ago when I had them at the Top Alex. I was there over 20 years at the Top Alex. Great days. And I'd like to say something today. I'm really touched because Johnny Mole's here today. Remember Johnny Mole, a great bass player? He's come down today. It's a great bass player, and he's come down today for my birthday. So I'm really overwhelmed, believe me. That's the old days of turntable. We started with me in turntable. I don't know if you've got the programmes. I don't see any the next few weeks. We've got Reg Webb next week with a great saxophonist, Dave Lewis. So I'd love to see you next week. We've got some nice things. I've got Frankie Mees coming, Ola on the Bulu, Sexy Saxes in Suits, which is Derek Nash, and Snake Davis. So there's quite a few things coming up.
Finally, Digby, how would you sum up Kenny Baxter as a musician and man?
I would sum up my friend Kenny Baxter as a warm-hearted, fine musician who's given the ultimate. He's given his life to jazz music and to the musicians that play it. There couldn't be a finer epitaph than that, and no one musician can do more than give his life to the music. And I think the fact that he was an engraver, I think, for some of his life, doesn't alter the fact that everything that we remember about Kenny is really concerned with our beautiful music. And I think you can simply say that he's done as much as any of us can ever do, which is to give his life, heart and soul to the music, and to do it in a way that has endeared him to thousands of musicians and friends. And I mean, that's a great life's work. If it stopped tomorrow, he'd have done more than most other people do in 3 lifetimes.
Overall, are you pleased with your achievement in bringing the experience of live music to what must be a huge audience over the years?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I really, sometimes, I think to myself, you've done well really, because you brought so many people together. I've got some great friends and great followers. I've got people who go wherever I go with my name, they come.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every time, but I always got that little following, that secures me on a gig. I'll tell you what, if I met my maker tomorrow, I don't think I would change anything really. I'd say thanks. I would really, My wife gets on my nerves sometimes, but other than that.